And I feel so passionate about this and the excitement here that there's nothing we can't build here with this. I haven't quit smiling. There's just so much opportunity. I don't even know where to start. I turn one way and then I think I'm just turning, and there's so much opportunity here. There's just so much.
Welcome to Tech Talk with WSU Tech, where we dive into all things WSU Tech and we highlight the voices within our college community. I'm Dr. Sheree Utash, and today we have the honor of chatting with Michelle Reuter. Welcome.
Thanks, Sheree.
Thanks for being here. What we like to do is we like to kick off with you kind of introducing yourself and your title and talk about, just briefly, what do you do that aligns with the mission of WSU Tech?
That's a great way to introduce yourself. So I'm Michelle Reuter, and I'm the new Dean of Apprenticeships and Applied Learning. And we are actually an integral part of the mission for WSU Tech because we're doing training and development and higher education for workforce development, which is a high priority of WSU Tech for economic growth for our community.
Way to go. So, apprenticeships. We've heard about those for years. They're really popular in Europe. They're way ahead of us in like Germany and some of those places. What does apprenticeship and applied learning for WSU Tech look like today?
So there's a lot of ways that we are using apprenticeships for applied learning. So we have 3 different opportunities that we're working on through our Office of the Apprenticeship. So we are offering apprenticeship degrees, and that's probably what we'll talk about most today. We're also becoming an intermediary to help employers find a workforce pipeline. And then we also can be a related technical instruction or RTI provider. So using our workforce development area to offer classes to help them offset that.
Do the training for those that are in an apprenticeship that might not have the facilities to do that. Is that
correct?
Kind of
That's
what that
kind
means?
of that we could do that with our apprenticeship degrees. The intermediary would be actually working with an employer to allow them to hire students as their apprentices, and then we put a program together, what that looks like for the area of industry that they want. And then we also can provide that training for them on the side because they have to have 144 hours of related technical instruction for those apprenticeships, standing those up.
And RTI is related technical instruction for those that don't know, right?
That is correct.
Okay, great.
Forgot about those acronyms.
So, I'm going to go into a little bit more towards the end, but let's just talk about right now what partnerships or areas of your new work you're most excited about. I'm
really excited about the apprenticeship degrees, and that's kind of where we're starting here at WSU Tech. And I have to tell you, since starting here, the opportunities are endless. It's just like a gold mine of opportunities for apprenticeship degrees. So the apprentice degrees that we're working on, we're working with established apprenticeship degrees. For example, plumber and pipe fitters, or an electrical.
That have been around for years and years
correct.
And years.
That is correct. And we're able to kind of offset what they're doing because we know parents, it's winning parents over for the kids to go into those applied learning areas. So this allows the student to be in their 4 or 5 year apprenticeship degree where they're putting in 8,500 hours, and it gives them an opportunity to get a degree with WSU Tech. So we have worked out a formula. So working with the Kansas Board of Regents, we're able to provide those apprentices in an existing program to give them 45 credit hours free of charge on their transcript at WSU Tech. So they simply take the 15 hours that are required in the gen eds, and then they're able to transfer then to we're establishing partnerships with a couple of universities that they can take, and they'll take that as is. So it's an extremely great opportunity for students to be able to do that, get a degree.
So those 45 hours that they're getting through their apprenticeship, that's like credit for prior learning?
That is correct.
Okay. So and this was a few years back, and I haven't really asked anybody this for a while, when we first talked about apprenticeships, people were very fearful because they thought it was union.
Correct.
Is that still a mindset? And if so, how do you overcome it? Or are we beyond that?
I feel that there are some old school folks that still kind of have that union mentality, but in our position with WSU Tech, we're not favoring one over the other. We're treating them as our students. And so when I go in and work with, and I do have union and non-union partnerships in electrical and several other industries, I I'd gotten that comment, and my standard response is, we're here for the student. That part of it hinges on the side of, what industry that you're on, and it's not something I would really want to partake in, because I want to help union, non-union apprenticeships engage their students. And it's also a recruitment tool where there's now a degree that could be attached to that, which really is really helpful. And so it's irrelevant to us. And I do feel like there has been some change in that mindset. I don't feel it's as out there as it was years ago, since they know that
So
this
let's
exists.
zoom out a little bit to a more macro look at apprenticeship. And we know that there was a group of people on a task force. I was on this task force several years ago where, Kansas was not performing at a very good level with this. And there's been a lot of things that have happened, a lot of changes, and some structural pieces have been put into place. From where we were maybe 5 years ago to where we're at today, how would you describe that?
Well, working with the Office of the Apprenticeship through all this, I think they were close to being like 48th or 49th nationwide.
49th.
Okay, and under Guam. So that was interesting. And I know that the goal was to be 25 and 25. Not quite there, but pretty darn close. So Kansas has really made great strides. And I've been working with Office of the Apprenticeship for the last 3 years. And the team has grown. The strategies have grown. The help has grown. It's changing the mindset of Kansas employers to really want to go in that. A lot of the industry partners didn't want to have an apprenticeship be involved because they didn't want the government to be in their business. That was kind of the mentality. And I think that the Office of the Apprenticeship, along with the educational partners that work with her, I think they're overcoming that, obviously, to become 20, pretty close to 25.
So the goal is to be number 25 in the nation in 25.
Yes. She didn't make it by the end of, the Office of the Apprenticeship didn't quite make it by the end of September, I think was the deadline.
Okay.
But they're in the 20s. So that is incredible.
That is real transformation.
It's very much
of
so.
something that we were really, really not doing well in.
And
there was a lot of opportunity and a lot of runway, but we had to overcome challenges. So some of those have been overcome. So talk about, what are the challenges or barriers that you find today, fast forward to where we are today? What are they in doing this work?
Well, some of the challenges have just been that same mindset. So if I talk about the degree side of things, having an apprenticeship offer a degree, we have some of them that still don't feel that education is going to help them. It's the mindset that, well, we've got this apprenticeship, we've got this goal. They came here for a reason. These are students that didn't want to go into education for a reason. The point we make to them is that you do need an education. This does open up doors. This first started out with the mindset of a degree to help with pay raises and job promotions.
Oh, okay.
When our first generational students started getting through these programs, and they were very excited that they had gotten an associate degree, then they saw, oh, I can go to college. So this opened up the doors then to find those universities that could partner with us, like WSU, the ones that we're working with, that could offer that pathway from this apprenticeship partner that we have with the 8,500 hours in their apprenticeship and the 15 hours that they get from WSU Tech to move into one of those bachelor arenas and get that bachelor's. We tell them you're going to get older and you're not going to be able to do this work. Let's use iron workers for an example. That's an excruciating physical job that goes on out there. And so to have a backup plan to say, hey, what do I look like in 10 years or 15 years? I'm talking to 18, 22-year-olds, but you're going to be 18, 22 for all. I mean, look at me. I wasn't pointing at you.
Look at us.
So I think that it's just something that we're starting to plant that seed, that it's a great recruitment tool for high schoolers working with our department, with our high school partnerships. The apprenticeship partners that we're working with are now starting to see the benefit of that, and the parents are seeing that. It's a dual role. They get a journeyman card and they get a degree. And what can better serve you for growth when you get older, to have those opportunities for a project manager, a manager, moving up into those arenas where you're doing those things instead of the actual physical work. So I do think it's becoming a reality for those apprentices.
Do they get any kind of, I know they get their journeyman's card, do they get any kind of industry credentialing along the way as well? And
They
is
do
that
if we
through us or
That's what we're
through
working
them?
on. That's a great question. And yes, we do want those industry credentials.
Yeah.
And so the more we expand into some of our other areas where we're kind of in the applied learning area, but as we get over more into the aviation manufacturing and even we're working on an accounting, we're working on healthcare. We've got we're working on healthcare apprenticeships. So we're working with our nursing area and our allied health. This whole thing is definitely worth, and that would be part of those RTI, that related technical instruction credentials that we could build in to any
And
apprenticeship.
then they would get those industry credentials,
Absolutely.
like students that are in just our programs that are not part of an apprenticeship.
And the beauty of it, when we are working on the other side, not the degree part of it, but becoming an intermediary where we put the program together based on the Department of Labor, the standards, and then the workflow process that's in here, we can actually help them build in those credentials if it's not built in there with those related technical hours that we determine what those are. So it could be coming over and just taking our actual classes that are in our aviation manufacturing programs or construction or whatever that looks like. So it's not unheard of that they just come and take our degrees as part of those apprenticeships. So that's part of the goal, is to just steer everything into credit hours already established. It makes it easy, or build cohorts out. So this is all about building those relationship credentials, students, to help them grow for the future.
So you mentioned in the very beginning that since you've been back, there's lots of potential and lots of growth and lots of opportunities. Talk to me about that.
How much time do we have left? Let's see. Oh my gosh. WSU Tech is a wealth of opportunity. It's just like it's very captivating because it is very well known, but everything is an opportunity for an apprenticeship. Everything is an opportunity for related technical instruction. We have opportunities for embedded trainers. We just was working with Yingling was an example. What a great job they're doing. And now aviation is able to go out there and put an embedded trainer. They're working on other classes that we can put in there. We had HM Dunn talk to us about industrial maintenance area there. Instead of us putting more money into an instructor and doing those things, we're looking for those opportunities where their students can come to campus and be part of our cohorts here, as well as earning those apprenticeship degrees. Accounting, working with our accounting faculty to do could be anybody, like all the companies here that would benefit from the accounting. Healthcare, again, there's all the healthcare opportunities here that we've talked to a variety of the employers that are here, specifically in Wichita and even at a national level. So this is national. And you think about this, the world is our oyster. Mm-hmm. So while we do want to focus on our Wichita and Kansas for sure, but these apprenticeships are all national level. So giving you an example for ironworkers, it's a small union here in Wichita, but their parent company is actually in Denver, an opportunity to foster that relationship with their parent company, and they have national. We also have just been working with our new partner that is from Chicago, our construction and carpentry union. We were just there for their graduation a short period of time ago. And that was the most amazing graduation I think I ever attended.
Why?
300 or 400 people, the enthusiasm, the dynamics of it all. It was just one of the most engaged group of people I've ever seen and witnessed. The union partnerships there gave them all these tools and all of these things that they received for finishing up that apprenticeship. We took a tour of 2 of their facilities. Incredible. Brought them back and showed the pictures to our construction, to our dean, and he's very excited about the possibility of using some of those suggestions to improve his own program to master, some of those things. So all of this is a great help. He has the carpentry construction out of Chicago has other areas like St. Louis, Kansas City, and there's 3 or 4 other regional partners in that same type of industry with an international group in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. All of these are opportunities for us to expand and grow. And it's also a way for us to see what they're doing in their areas that excel that could also help our own programs here at WSU Tech, which they're willing to share. So
is your phone and your email ringing off the wall, dinging off the wall?
They are. Well, yes, just about. We've about got everything set up. It was funny you say that. I'll share. I was at sheet metal recruiting, and one of the best group that week, because I go every week to different ones and get each year, and they were very engaged. I always give them my cell phone number. It's the easiest way. So I got out and I had one that just stood out to me. I don't know his name, but he wrote me and he goes, "Do you take FAFSA?" And I said, "Well, yes, we do." "And do you take payment plans?" And I said, "Yes, we do." And he goes, "Can you send me the link to apply? I would like to start now." That's
really a win.
That spoke to me,
especially out of the sheet metal.
Out of sheet metal.
That's really cool.
The whole group was so engaged, and I have to tell you, I got goosebumps, and I've been engaged with him. And I said, let me check on a couple things, and we've been in contact every day as we're figuring some of those things out. We're in those last phases of doing all that, but that got me. It made me laugh, and it just made me think, wow, we just really we're meeting the needs, and they're hearing some excitement and the opportunity to just take 15 hours. And I would have been a plumber, or a sheet metal worker if I only had to take 75 hours. And you think about it, 15 here and 60 hours at one of the universities of their choice. That's a pretty good deal. 75 credit hours. I'm sold.
And they're set.
Yeah. And here's another perk to this. One of the things that WSU Tech is doing differently than everybody else is our students can be in our program, but 15 hours isn't going to take them very long. So both universities that we're partnering with will allow them to transfer and start in their programs without having their journeyman card done or having this done. Very unheard of at the national level. And the third thing that we're doing that a lot of people are not is that we call them our alumni. So we don't want to discriminate against people that have already been in an apprenticeship that are already out. If they have their journeyman card, we want them to come back and proceed on. And when they come and hand us that journeyman card, they're going to get the 45 hours right then and there on their transcript. So we want them all. We want them all.
So we want all to come, current, past,
present,
future.
Yeah.
We want them all.
Their unborn child. I mean, whatever they're thinking of, that's what we want. We do. And I feel so passionate about this and the excitement here that there's nothing we can't build here with this. I haven't quit smiling. There's just so much opportunity. I don't even know where to start. I turn one way and then I think I'm just turning, and there's so much opportunity here. There's just so much.
So we have a history.
Yes, we do.
And let's see. I'm going to go back to when you worked at Newman, I believe it was.
Oh, yes.
And that I found out what the work that you were doing. This was a long time ago, many years ago, actually.
Yeah.
I think
Six Sigma stuff.
Yeah, this was back
in the Boeing days.
This was back in the Boeing days, back when we were at Cali, I think.
You were yes, and going to WATC.
And going to WATC. And I stalked you a bit. And
I didn't mind because I loved it.
And you came to work for us back in the Six Sigma days, back in the Boeing days, in the last part of the Boeing days, and we did some good work together. And then you followed all of us to WSU. Well, what was WATC at the time? And then spent some time building a customized business and industry platform for us. And little known fact, you'll remember this, maybe nobody else, but we had $1 million shortfall in our budget.
I remember.
Do you remember
that?
this?
Because I remember.
And what did we do?
Well, you didn't really want us to know, but then you had meetings, but we all got paid, and you guys handled it so well.
And we said, we've got to have this business and industry training to fill the shortfall. And that was really, that's when you started kind of down this pathway. And then you worked for WATC for a while, and I think
almost 10 years. It was 8 or 9 years.
Left before we became WSU Tech.
That is correct.
And as fortune has it, last January we were at a conference
in Nashville.
And you saw David in the elevator.
And said, he forgot who I was.
I'd sure like to get with Sheree while we're here. And he told me that night, he said, there's somebody in the elevator that wants to see you. Her name's Michelle. I can't remember her last name. And I rattled off a few, and he said, I think it's that one. And then you text me. And that kind of fast forwarded to where we are today, and you came back home.
I did, and it's been home ever since. It really was always home, I have to say that. Never felt right anywhere else, but the welcome I've had, the support that is here, I haven't quit smiling. My face hurts from smiling. I had muscles that I didn't even know I had anymore. So it's the most incredible experience. We would not be able to build all of this stuff that we're building as quickly as we are without many people at WSU Tech that have been helping, from Trish to, the people that Jen, for sure, just the names are countless. Kind of like you look out in the thing and you know you're going to forget somebody, but there's been endless support from Andy, Mandy, everything we're doing from the National Center of Apprenticeship Design, which we're hosting here at the end of this month to be part of, thanks to the Office of the Apprenticeship. It's just been an incredible journey to have the support to grow, and there's nobody that's going to be surpassing us. I don't believe.
I think my words to you were, do you want to come home and are you portable?
And it's been portable ever since.
It's been portable ever since.
Portable. I love that word. That's such a great word. Especially on
You kind of looked
camera.
at me like, portable?
I know. I didn't quite understand that, but it's good.
But it's good, and it's been good. And the other thing I want everybody to realize about Michelle Reuter is she has a passion and a heart for this work, big time. She always has, ever since I first met you.
Thank you.
She has a huge passion and a huge heart. And she is on the national stage a lot as a subject matter expert in this area. So just, blow your horn a little bit. Where have you been? Where have you been talking? I know you've been presenting, and I know you've been out on the road.
We have. And thank you for allowing me to continue that coming over here. Jen, I don't know if she has much of a travel budget because she wasn't planning for me, but she has been very gracious and very supportive. So just got back from Norfolk, Virginia. We spoke I was on a 3-panel person with Steve Jurek from ACCT. He's a vice president with them, and then also the vice president for the kind of what I'm doing at Howard Community College out of Virginia. So we spoke there. We were in Chicago. I was in Nashville. We've been to Phoenix twice. I've been to Tampa, Seattle, all over. It's just been Tucson.
You're a
everywhere.
national treasure, but your home is WSU Tech.
It is home, and I will. That's the only home I'll have now.
I'll
either die or retire. Those are the only 2 options at this point. Just to say.
So I'm super happy to have you on Tech Talk today. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you
for bringing your passion, your purpose, and your love for what you do.
Goes the tears. Now you're going to make me cry.
Okay, we're going to close out.
That would be great.
Thank you for tuning in to Tech Talk with WSU Tech. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And until next time, stay connected and keep exploring the incredible work happening right here at WSU Tech.